How's that look, huh? I'm going to show you how I make dinner rolls. You'll be able to put them just like that. So when I'm making dinner rolls, I start out with about 1.25 cups of milk, and it's about 3/4 of a cube of butter in the saucepan, and I melt it down kind of on a medium-low heat, and just until it's the butter is melted and it's fairly warm but not too hot that's going to kill the yeast off. So that's about it. Keep an eye on that. The next step is I get the yeast starting to proof, and that will be the next scene. Okay, now we're going to get the yeast going, get the proof going. I got some warm water in here. I don't measure the temperature, but basically it's a really warm water from the tap. I'd say not hot to the touch, that's going to kill the yeast off, but just fairly warm. Think warm bath. Sprinkle a little bit of sugar in there to activate the yeast. Nice spoonful of yeast here. I use the jar stuff. Pour it in there. Mix it up nice and good. And in a few minutes we're going to come back and that'll be nice and foamy. That's what I found is one of the big keys to getting good rise in the dough, is having a nice foamy yeast going. Here's another helpful tip. Get a measuring cup full of water, put it in your microwave, 2 minutes. And that's where we'll put the dough in. Once the water heats up, it's a great place to put the dough in to let it rise. You just keep the water, when it's done, keep the water in there, push it off to one side, and then put your bowl of dough. You're ready to go. Alright, see how the yeast has foamed up? That's perfect right there. You want a nice foamy yeast to put in with your milk and butter. Get this dough going. Alright, well next we're going to pour in the milk and butter into our mixer. Our yeast, salt, a couple of egg yolks. Get this thing rocking and rolling. Okay, as you can see, our milk and butter and all that goodness is incorporated, melted down. It's I had to let it cool a little bit. It got a little bit warm. But now we're ready to pour it into the mixing bowl. Next we'll get our, look at that yeast. Man. Look how proof that is. That's perfect. Perfect. Pour that in. 2 egg yolks. Then go in. And some salt. Probably about half a teaspoon maybe. I just eyeball it. Then I just give it a little quick mix. Get the egg yolk incorporated into the mixture. Alright, I'll start out with probably 2 cups of flour. Just dumped right on in there. You know, I don't measure perfect, but it's really going to depend on how much liquid is in there and how much flour to get the right texture. So I'll mix this up. And I'll come back in a little bit when it's close to being done to show you what it looks like when it's almost done. You want to get you a bowl ready that the dough is going to go in. I pour a little bit of vegetable oil in it. Not a whole lot, just enough to coat it so the dough doesn't stick too bad. Kind of twirl it around here. Then when the dough is all mixed up and it's perfect ball, it'll go in here. We'll cover it with saran wrap, plastic wrap, put it in the microwave. Wait for it to rise. That's all there is to it. It's not rocket science. Alright, it's getting pretty close now. As you can see, we got a ball of dough starting to form. I just slowly add some flour. You don't want to do too much, it's going to go shooting all over the place. I don't know if you can see that. Might have to take the camera off, but there's our ball of dough. This thing turned out nice. Alright, you want to get it just a little bit tacky. Not too much where it sticks on your hands, but just tacky. Look at that. Look at that. Alright, we're going to put it in the bowl and put some plastic wrap over it. I'll be back here shortly. Alright, here it is in the bowl. Swish it around, get it all coated with the vegetable oil. See that? Nice and coated. Next, we put the plastic wrap on. Now, this is an important step too. I mean, all the steps together, you're going to get good dough, but you want to put the plastic wrap on, get a good seal, just keep the heat in. And we're going to go put it in the microwave and let it sit for about an hour. We'll show you once it comes out how much that thing is risen. Hey guys, wanted to run by y'all the fact that I didn't get on camera. I put a little bit of sugar in with the mixture, the milk and the butter mixture that melted. Didn't get it on camera though, so I thought I better clear that up. You can use honey. I've never tried molasses, but maybe that would work, I don't know. Or don't use any sweetener at all. Hey, I'm just trying to give you a basic step of what I use. Take it or leave it, use your own mixture. Alright, hey, I can't wait for the dough to be risen to give you a shot of that. So we'll check in with you soon. Alright, let's check the dough now, see how high it's risen. Look at that, that's really risen nicely. Alright, we're going to take it over to the cutting board and divide it up, put it in the pan, and then let it rise again. Alright, we're going to dump it out now. Look at that, we oiled the bowl, look how nice that came out. Check that out. A little bit of flour. So now I'm going to cut it up into hopefully somewhere around 12 equal pieces, and we'll put it in our pan and let it rise again. Alright, now we're forming them into little balls. Nothing fancy, just get a dozen rolls out of this. Put the plastic wrap on again. Put it in the oven, let it rise for probably another half hour, 45 minutes. And then we'll bake them up. Alright, get the plastic wrap on. Nice seal. Put it in the oven that's turned off. And then we'll come back and see how good they've risen. Okay, now we're putting some butter on the top before we put it in the oven. The rolls have risen pretty good, as you can see. Now this butter, remember when we put it in with the milk, I used 3/4 of a cube, about 3/4 of a cube. I left the other quarter and melted it right here. We're going to put it on before it goes in the oven, and then right after it comes out we'll get another coating of butter on top. So there you go. Next time you see it, it'll be nice brown rolls. Okay, real quick, I want to let you know that the oven is at 375. We're going to put it in for around 30 minutes. You just have to check and see what color they are around that time. Might need to go sooner or later. But anyway, we'll get back to you when we're pulling out brown rolls. Alright, now we're going to check them out. Let's see how they're doing. Look at that. Look at that. Get another brush of butter across with the rest of our butter here. Those look great. How good is that, huh? And that is the way I make dinner rolls. Feel free to use your own version. But this is a get you started and get you some good looking rolls. How does that look? Look at that. Look at that. You see the steam? Now go make yourself a batch.